when Afghanistan fell to the Taliban in August 2021, the lives of women in the country changed almost overnight. Girls were taken out of schools, barred from attending university. They were ordered to wear burqas and restricted from participating in public life. Now, almost 3 years on, my next guest has published a memoir about her experience under the Taliban as a footballer and the first ever captain of the Afghanistan women's national team. Well, Khalida Popal joins Mari, Gareth and I now. A very good morning to you. Thanks so much for joining us. So I want to get to the point of when Afghanistan fell to the Taliban in a moment, but just remind us of the lead up to that point. You became captain of the national team when? What year was that?
When the Taliban first time fell from the power, when international allies was in Afghanistan, when there was development time in Afghanistan, where we were trying our best as young girls and women of Afghanistan to participate actively in society and to stand for our right, to change the narrative about women in Afghanistan.
And again, we'll come to 2021 in a moment, but even the lead up to when you got to play in the first place and to be captain was a very long and tough journey.
Indeed, a country where it's war-torn country and male-dominated country, 8 years when first time Taliban took over, women and girls were not even allowed to go to school, and we were even not allowed to watch TV. So that period was dark period where brainwashed people, changed mindset of people about women. When we came to the society after Taliban fell from the power, still it was new for people, and football was something quite new. It was not known. Women and girls were not playing football, and people were thinking that it's against the culture, it's against the religion, and they wanted women and girls to still stay in the kitchen and do the service at home and not come out. So it was not the Taliban only that we were scared, but it was also the mindset in the society that in a war-torn country and the culture that war changes, it was tough for women. And women always are the victims of all conflicts.
With that considered, with that backdrop, what was it like that first moment going out and captaining that team?
Was the most beautiful moment, most beautiful memory, representing our country. It's the best pride that anyone can have, the best honor and privilege to represent our country, our nation, and actually making history for the first time when we faced so much odds against us, where we were told and we were attacked many times. We faced physical and a lot of pressure, harassment and abuse from people in the society, where they told us we belong to the kitchen, but we made history. We believed in ourselves. We really fought hard to come and use our platform to be the voice for our voiceless sisters who are facing violence. And football was a tool for us. And we first time made history by playing for the first national team of Afghanistan and represented our country. That was the best moment for us, but it also came with a lot of challenges and risks towards our lives.
So what was it that first attracted you to football? Did you see a film? Did you watch that? What was it that just made you see it and think, God, that's for me?
Football came quite naturally in my life because I grew up with my brothers. I'm the only daughter or only girl in my family. So football is the first game, and it's quite popular, street football in so many countries. Football is not a very fancy game. Unfortunately, now they made it quite fancy and expensive, but it's people's game, right? Yeah. All you need is just your bags or sandals as a goalpost and something round to just play with. And that's how I started, and that street football was my thing.
How quickly did it all change, and how starkly did it all change after August 2021?
Unfortunately, all the development, the 20 years of hard work and development and everything that happened, overnight it changed. The country collapsed, government surrendered, And women were at a great risk, especially the women like our players who are activists, and they were using their voices, their identities were there, and they were actively were fighting against Taliban ideology of Taliban, against the culture that was preventing women from society, and they were at a great risk. And unfortunately, there was no support, no protection. It was women and the enemy outside the door. And our girls, the national team of Afghanistan, the foundation was built on activism, and that's what we built on. And we stood up against Taliban. And Taliban, the enemy, was outside the door, and our girls were not protected, and there was nobody to support them.
You might not be in Afghanistan now, but activism has not left your life, has it? It's still very close to your heart.
Never. I never stopped using my voice, using my platform. It's my purpose to stand for women's rights as a human right, and my girls and my women of my country, and any woman anywhere. Or unfortunately, the women of Afghanistan has been always the victim of all the conflicts. They are the one that was betrayed not only by the government of Afghanistan, but also the Western world. They are just left alone. Their voices are shut. They are prisoned at home. They cannot go to school. They cannot go they cannot be active in society. And playing a sport is crime now for women.
I mean, this might be a difficult question to answer, but do you feel that there is hope for women in Afghanistan to still one day be able to do what you did and play again? Do you see a pathway for that at all?
What we see right now in social media, so of course the news just turn their faces to Afghanistan, but what we see in social media and friends of mine back home, they're out, they're demonstrating. The women of Afghanistan in streets of Kabul, in streets of Mazar-e-Sharif, in other provinces, they are demonstrating. They are standing for their right. They are fighting hard. They are standing alone in front of the gun, and they want their right. And there is hope because the new generation of Afghanistan want change, and they're fighting. And we are using our voices from diaspora, from outside, to be the voice for them. Mm-hmm. And the Afghanistan women's national team is one of the platform. Unfortunately, we have lost our right to represent our country, because it's not just we lost our country and we lost our right, but even outside Afghanistan, we managed to rescue and evacuate with the different governments' support to bring the national team of Afghanistan outside in exile. They are living in exile, our players are living in exile, but they have lost the right to represent Afghanistan.
And Khalida, just remind our viewers, your memoir is out now or out very soon?
The 28th of June will be out, and it's about the journey, my journey, and through my journey, the journey of Afghanistan women's national team, and all the struggles, but also glories of our movement.
Well, Khalida, it's an inspirational journey, and we thank you for sharing a small part of it today. And of course, good luck with the memoir that comes out, as you said, on the 20th of June. Khalida Popal joining us.